Ayo, December 30th, December Schmerdieth. That made no sense whatsoever. Speaking of that, wasn't Bobby Schmurda supposed to get out of prison? Wasn't that supposed to be kind of like our bookend to 2020? Well, whatever. Guess it didn't happen. Or he got out already? I have no idea. I'm not cool enough to be keeping up with these things. So, we're going to jump right into the 5 topics. Wow. I kind of missed. It's a Schmurda day today. Now I've decided that. Yep. That's how it's going to be. We've got 2 amazing bowl games on today. Well, 1.5. But yesterday's bowl games, especially when we saw the Miami game, Oklahoma State game last night, that proved to be really freaking good. Miami, cue the Undertaker gif coming up out of the grave because they played their ass off in the second half. And I think when they're going to review the tape, they're going to look at getting off to a terribly slow start, both offensively and defensively. They just look lethargic. They look like they played 2 days ago. So second half was an entirely different team. They wanted to win, but Oklahoma State barely hung on by a field goal. But, man, within 10 minutes we had within 10 minutes of the fourth, we had the over hit. Or no, sorry. Yeah, because there were 6 minutes left in the game, and the over already hit. And even if you had taken the over at 70, you would have been good as well. So they made sure to give it a little bit extra so that we cleared that gauge. The DH podcast went 2 for 2 in locks. You had the Oklahoma State over, and then you also had Texas money line. So 2 for 2. Feels good. I've been colder than Santa's tits lately. So it's been a rough go for me. Real rough go. All right, number 1, Mason Rudolph. Bonk. I don't have a helmet, or I would have been propping using a helmet around this for a while. But it's going to be fun. He won't be mic'd up. He should be mic'd up. And he actually, by the way, remember, don't let people tell you that the NFL doesn't bury what they want because they're a bunch of sleazy scumbags. He was mic'd up on Helmet Gate. He was mic'd up. They refused to release what he said mic'd up. I think that's telling in itself. What he might have said or didn't say or even came close to saying. You never know. If you have nothing to hide, as all these a-holes now say, if you have nothing to hide, then you shouldn't be scared. Whatever. He will be starting. Big Ben's going to be sitting. I don't think they're going to bring Ben in no matter what because they're in the playoffs already. They don't give a shit. The Browns win, they're in. You will be having a 10-5 team, or a 10-6 team, out of the playoffs if this happens. So that's just how it's going to go. All right. Arizona men's basketball self-imposing a 1-year postseason ban. Cue the gifs of Sean Miller just dripping in sweat. He sweats through dress shirts. It's disgusting. The man's like a wet dog. This is I want to say preservation. It's a preservation tactic that these guys use. And we see it more often in college basketball than anywhere. Louisville did it when Pitino was still there. But you've got them now trying to call off the dogs of the NCAA and say, all right. We know that we messed up, so what we're going to do is we're going to pause ourselves. And then when you review us, you will look at that fact and say, wow, they're atoning for their sins. They're not really atoning for their sins. They just know that they don't have a top 5 team this season that can compete and play for a championship. So, and now that their players all know that, why the hell would they? Because if you're a senior and you just imposed a ban, now you don't get to play, and the transfer rules you won't be able to play anyway, so I feel bad for those seniors to start off with. Just don't be cowards and let the NCAA do their job. All right, number 3, Johnny Manziel, back in the news. I like Johnny. He's gotten a lot of flack. He's always been fun. It's something you can always say about him. Playing on the field, different, but he will be returning somewhat to the field. There is a new football league called fan-controlled football. I'm Ron Burgundy. Fan-controlled football is weird because in theory, it seems like just what who tried it? Somebody tried this to where it was like one play. They let the fans vote. This can get tricky. Your cybersecurity has to be, crazy good, or like trolls are just going to hack it and make you run a triple option and QB sneaks the whole day long. Or they're going to make you punt on first down. What do you want? The only way you can control it is two things: have really strong cybersecurity and only give people an option of maybe like 3 different options. Okay, you want a wheel route, go route, cross, whatever you decide. So another weird thing about this football league is that it's 35 yards wide, which I think is within a yard or two of the NFL, but it's only 50 yards deep. So I don't know if it's going to be like half court when it comes to basketball. You're like, all right, well, we got the ball now. We're going to start over here. And it's just going to look like they're changing quarters every time they change possession. Or there are no punts, and you're always going for it on fourth down. That's what it sounds like. Or it's just field goal mania. What happens if you're at the 50-yard? Is there going to be a wall backing, or is it going to be like, or is it going to be like crazy far backing? Because if it's like arena football and you're up against a back wall, what happens if you try to kick? Are you allowed to kick? Can we send Cody Parkey down there to be kicking? These are all things that need to be asked, people. Only 6-game schedule. Only 6-game schedule. So I'm assuming they're going to have less than 10 teams. I put my marker at 8 teams, and these guys do some like round robin nonsense. And there's not going to be like divisions. It's just going to be. This seems kind of hastily thrown together, but since it's going to be live streamed on Twitch, they're more focused about building an audience with just esports. I think there's definitely the market for it. Esports is growing at an astronomical rate that I can't even like fathom, and especially in 2020, just blew up. Esports is happy for 2020. You're not allowed to say if you had a good year or not. They crushed this year. They had a great year, and they're going to finish stronger, and 21's going to grow. Yeah, it's going to be really good. And colleges are going to invest in it too. You've already seen like University of Kentucky investing tons of money into an esports facility. Not just a couple of rooms here and there, facility. And it's not going to stop. So if they're getting on somewhat on the ground floor and they can continue, I don't think they're going to get big names. But the thing about the esports community is that you don't need big names from the NFL or from the CFL or from the AAF. You want to know why? Because most of the people watching in this like 18 to 28 demographic don't give a shit. They really don't. What they want to see is they want to see something fun. They want to see something new, intriguing. I don't know what the backgrounds are going to look like, whether that's just going to be ad space, virtual fans, or anything like that. But the way that they were talking about the way that this field, quote unquote, looks like, it doesn't seem like there's going to be a lot of room for fans or that fans will ever be there. So, weird, but hey. They've also talked about that you get to follow. Yes, you get to follow players on and off the field and be able to interact with them, but that you get to do that now. So I don't know how they're increasing levels of interaction. Maybe they're also asking their players to be on Twitch doing something within certain times of the season. I don't know whether it's a couple hours a week on Twitch, whether it's just maybe you have a podcast on Twitch. Maybe you're just playing games, shooting the shit. Plenty of options for you to do, I think. I love that stuff. I love it. College coaches being looked at by the NFL. Number 4. PJ Fleck is getting some rumors. Another rumor is Jim Harbaugh. I don't believe it. I think for Jim, he wants it. And you're like, Nick, you just signed an extension. Okay. That's his plan B. If he can get out, he'll do it. He'll take the hit. He'll leave them like Rich Rod left West Virginia just in the dust in the middle of the night. He'll take the bad PR week. Just get out of Dodge. Do I think he should? No, that's cowardly. It's very cowardly. But again, bigger paycheck. Money talks. Everybody has a price. My price is like Shake Shack. Pretty low price. Maybe Five Guys. Oh. See, now I know what I'm doing for lunch today. This is why we have this nice rapport here. Detroit and Houston were some of the ones that are looking at Harbaugh. I don't think so because Detroit is set on Salah. Set on him already. I don't know if he's set on them. It's a very different question. But his skill is definitely more transferable than Jim Harbaugh's, where he is a Super Bowl loser and college fraud. But of course, Jim Harbaugh is also a great person, so maybe he'll be able to retranslate those skills. It could just be like the umpteenth college coaches that try their hand at the NFL and it doesn't go right. Like Nick Saban's got the dream gig. It's amazing. Dabo's got a dream gig too. Ryan Day now has a dream gig. Brian Kelly, until he gets fired, I don't know. That's another one. Number 5, that was weird. We're going to end it off with the bowl games for today. Mayo Bowl. We saw Cheez-Its get poured on the Oklahoma State coach last night in the Cheez-It Bowl. I pray to God there's a tub of mayo, and they just shake it, and it just, like the cranberry sauce just coming out of the can. That's stupid visual stuff that I like. Whatever. Mayo Bowl, Wisconsin, Wake Forest. That's starting soon. I've just got Wisconsin money line. That was Wake Forest plus 10, but that's. I don't know which Wisconsin's going to show up. They had 2 very different teams this season. Cotton Bowl, Florida, Oklahoma. Take the over. Have some fun. They're all sitting. A few guys decided that they wanted to prepare for the draft. They wanted to better themselves. Sure, go for it. The Cotton Bowl is not really going to get you to a championship. So, well, I do think the Cotton Bowl will be the best game we've seen, or has the opportunity to be. Oklahoma State, Miami was damn good. So I think Florida, Oklahoma has a really good chance. You're watching a 7 and an 8 seed go at it. This is Oklahoma saying, like, hey, you can't let, a shortened season discredit us from being one of the best. And Florida's like, well, we had a chance to be in the national championship or in the CFP if we didn't throw a shoe. And that shoe throwing led us to having a lack of momentum against Alabama, and we actually kept up with Alabama. So, I don't know, guys. In reality, Florida probably wasn't going to make it. Let's be real here, guys, while we're talking about this. Florida, Oklahoma. I don't know what the over is. I can easily see the over being 75, and I think 75 is reasonable. I think 80's where I'm going to start to draw the line here, because these are 2 incredibly high-powered offenses. They've played really great schedules this season. Both the Big 12 and the ACC are much better than in previous seasons. Let's see here. Okay, well, you're not going to give me those scores. That's very nice. All right, Florida, Oklahoma. What is this called? It's called the Goodyear Comp. How many sponsors per bowl game do we need? Is that really a thing? It is not giving me. Are you kidding me? That's such a scumbag move. I would have just logged. 64.5. See ya. Over, baby. Over. It's too low. Does that seem too easy? I don't know. All right. Wisconsin money line. Florida, Oklahoma over. Take it. Get paid. I'll see everybody tomorrow, where we will be ringing out 2020 with a bang.